The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, do we go into the breach, dear friends?
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So, as we start this day off, is it any different than I thought yesterday? And the answer is no. Yesterday, I thought that Tuesday's action was a lot of getting ready for options expiration here on tomorrow. They were selling a huge amount of puts at exorbitant prices. Usually a good sign that suckers are buying, because people that are smart with options don't go after high premiums, because they know that the higher the premium, the lower the chance that you are going to have a successful trade out of it. You've got to beat the decay, and if you buy expensive options, it becomes almost impossible to do so. But we'll look at that. Got some earnings coming across the board. Not a lot of movement out here, but everything looks pretty much like it did yesterday. And as I said in my newsletter this morning, they have this market pinned for 2,800 for expiration tomorrow. Now, could that change? It could. My guess, though, is it will not. They are probably going to see, or we're probably going to see a expiration somewhere around 27.95 to 28.05 tomorrow, and any kind of deal would come after that. My guess, it will even come after the 6:30 news. And they'll make whatever the deal is with the existing devil that they have to get this thing handled. And I think the market's kind of looking into that. It's a lot why we're not selling off. But my guess is we'll probably see a lot of call buying right before the close tomorrow for those in the know. Remember that you can't be an insider trader if you're a congressman or a senator. All you have to know is what's going to happen. And you make your phone call to your friend over there at Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley, and you place your bet. Yeah, but it's only a bet if you don't know what's going to happen. And guess what? They know, for the most part, what's going to happen. So that's what I'm setting up now. So I'm kind of looking at Monday, probably a fairly decent bounce after whatever happens over the weekend. Happens, and then we'll see what happens after the bell on Monday with Netflix. So got a handful of things. We'll look at those. We'll look at maybe some earnings tomorrow in the energy patch and see if there's anything in the charts in that. But I think we're just going to have a very quiet couple of days here. And I remember when I was learning to fly, they had a little saying, and that is, our flying is hours and hours of boredom with minutes of sheer terror. And don't wish so much for hours of sheer terror, because they can get away from you fairly quickly. But that's about it. So got a kind of interesting day out there. Have at least some kind of epiphany on why the media, especially the San Francisco Silicon Valley media, has turned so aggressively against its own out there. And I've seen enough this morning to answer that question for myself, and a handful of other things. But why don't we get to a little bit of history today, and then we'll get into bigger and deeper issues.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is a big day because why is this not say that? I changed it and it didn't change it at all. Wrong year. I think it's 1786. There it is. I'll have that corrected. And I do. English explorer Captain James Cook becomes the first European to discover the Hawaiian Islands when he sails past the island of Oahu. After one of the crew members died, exposing the Europeans as mere mortals, relations became strained. Coming back for the second time, the Hawaiians greeted Cook and his men by hurling rocks on his second visit. Then they stole a small cutter attached to the big ship Discovery. Negotiations with the king broke down, and a lot of people, this Hawaiian chief got shot. A mob of Hawaiians got mowed down by deck guns on one of the ships, and they left. But interesting idea. They actually showed up there, decided to go up, look for a northwest passage, found nothing as they went up through the Aleutians, sailed back down, found the Hawaiians again, but they weren't too happy because they passed themselves off as gods. And when one person died, kind of proof that they weren't gods. So at least to the Hawaiians, they thought. And a beautiful place. Of course, I lived there for a wonderful almost 10 and a half years. Great place to live at the time. I've been back. But Hawaii is not the place it once was. Got a lot of people with cognitive problems running their state. And it's become a wasteland, at least close to where I used to live, with people with severe drug problems, because guess what? They don't discourage it. And by not discouraging it, they have a small town neighboring in the 5,000 to 10,000 level of people that are literally drug addicts living there. And of course, if I was a drug addict, what a better place to live than Hawaii, especially if they greet you with open arms and help you out. And you just wonder, you think you're doing good, but there's always the unintended consequences. And in this case, they've made a small army of people that live in the bushes, and probably one of the most beautiful places on earth, which I feel kind of a little sad about. On this day in 1786, I think that's the right day. Anyway, what else do we have going on out here? Well, like I said, we're going to get into some earnings and some news. One of the more interesting ones out here today is GNC. GNC went to Amscot to pay their bills. It looked like they were going to go belly up here any day, and they probably will. If we go back a while, this was one that was easy to see. This one gapped down off of $35 going back to April 28th, 2016. And what happened? Anybody that's ever put a business plan together knows that part of that business plan is the regulatory environment. And I believe that's the date where the Federal Trade Commission changed the rules that you could not use celebrities to endorse your selling of vitamins and other supplements that weren't labeled as drugs. And it's been a giant road lower. We'll talk more about this when we come back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And as we come back, a few other companies out here having a little better earnings. Live Deal. This is the company that is kind of like a Grubhub. It's involved in so many different things. Kind of hard to tell exactly what this thing did, but some good news out of there. This did gap up through the gap higher of the 28th of December, filled that gap, pretty much has rolled back into the lower trading range out here. But again, some of these stocks just highly shorted, and they can have some fairly decent moves. Same thing with GNC that we were talking about. They basically made a deal with the devil long term, which means that they will be going out of business. Just depends on how soon that they can't pay back some of these deals. And of course, had to give a lot of up to secure financing. But my guess is GNC, with the lack of mall traffic, are probably out of business this year. I'm thinking within the year. The deal they made makes me think that they won't be able to get through maybe midsummer or next fall. But again, when everybody's betting you go out of business in the next month or two, buying another 6 months is a way to bust your stock up. In this case, almost 50% on the day. But eventually, everybody will start selling off those kind of things. Questions about Boeing. This continues to be one of the biggest moving stocks of the last year, almost 1,100 points in the last year for the Dow itself. Nothing really ever in a way of a decent pullback and a huge move higher. One of the reasons is the tax plan. The other is that the Brexit issue is becoming more tense in Europe. And the question is whether or not Airbus will be an ongoing competitor, because they're all going to have to get together and figure out how the subsidies work. If you've ever been to Europe, you know that the levels of corruption and feather bedding are thick. The only way that this has worked has been that they were able to sweep all that up underneath the rug. It's not that they don't make a good plane. It's just that everybody's there getting their beak wetted along the way for Airbus, and that becomes problematic. Now, you got a little bit of a pullback today, but again, nothing that even breaks this uptrend up. And the question is, would you go ahead and pull the trigger on something like this? And the answer is still no. I would go to probably the best trader when he was on an even keel, which is Jesse Livermore. But always say that you don't try to pick a top, but you wait for a pullback, and then if it can't rally or it gets weak on the next one up, that could be it. The only thing I can see out here is that that literally all these sectors and everything else look like they're maybe 7 to 14 days away, that we could see some kind of decent pullback maybe in a week or two. My thought is that we get this engine running again on any kind of debt deal over the weekend, and we start moving higher. And again, all these stocks pretty much priced for absolute perfection. Morgan Stanley's up 53 cents. Again, when you're priced absolutely perfectly, you're going to have a blowout earnings day to get things moving any higher. You really just have kind of a little doji hanging out here. Again, a lot of these dojis, not this one in particular, never did develop. You had some, if you would have gotten the lower opening the next day, you would have had a little abandoned babies everywhere. You didn't get it. So you kind of have to wait and reset. But again, I see too many people trying to get too short too soon without a signal, like we saw on Tuesday. And my guess is that those option premiums, along with the people that went heavily short, are just going to see that money go to money heaven and not into their wallets. So what else do we have up here? Of course, one of the bigger movers today, but it's given almost all of it back, was IBM. I was suspect about this move and dubious upgrades. It does come out with earnings out after the bell. It has done fairly well off the 140 low of August 21st. Has anything really substantially changed in this? And they're doing better in their cloud business. They're really the only ones that are really specializing in cloud services to folks. They're doing well in healthcare. They're doing well in a couple other places. Has anything dramatically changed? The answer is no. Frankly, if I was betting on one stock that would surprise to the downside, it would probably be IBM for tonight, and you can keep an eye on that one. I will. I don't know. I'm half tempted to do that. This thing on a miss could go to 155, and it would do it all tonight. Have they been able to make their earnings look a little bit better? Yes. Are they going to still see yet another, 25 quarters of continual loss of revenue? I think we could get yet another quarter of loss of revenue or lower revenue in a row. And there's nothing changed other than they keep getting rid of the weakest links in their business. But it's had a nice run. It's pretty much priced for perfection. You'd have to have something that really came out of the blue from this company to do any better. So one of the probably low risk shorts for after the bell tonight. I haven't seen many that I liked. Let's see what else is out here. BGNE is a cancer drug company. It's up about 12%. BGene, a nice little roll out here today. It's testing its previous high. Had a lot of volume, wasn't able to hold the high, but again, I kind of figure it's going to be rather hard to hold a high when the market is kind of stuck around this $2,800 level. I was actually thinking that maybe we get a little sell-off before the end of the bell today in the S&P, because normally the pattern is to sell off on Thursday and then match, maybe exceed by a few points the S&P on Friday when they're trying to keep this thing flat. But my guess is a lot of people may be trying to get in front of the last-minute move on Friday afternoon, betting that they do make a deal, and the market pops on that deal on Monday morning. What else? Morgan Stanley Live. Alcoa, the big loser from earnings, I would say. I thought these guys would do a little bit better. Certainly looks like $47 is the next stop for this one. Talked to one of the DIN participants yesterday about steel becoming much better. And a lot of these companies that were going to be using a lot of aluminum have been able to use this new higher grade steel that everybody's been working with over the last few years. And maybe that's starting to hit on Alcoa, where maybe they're not going to use as much aluminum as they once thought, because they can now make steel 3 times stronger and 25% lighter. We'll talk about this when we come back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As you said, Alcoa came down a little bit. I think they were thinking that they were going to get a lot more business from the auto dealers or auto manufacturers. And it certainly looks like a new bunch of steel that really started somewhere around 2012 and has evolved in several different ways. But it certainly looks like the Japanese have come up with a new way. There's several companies here in the United States that are making steel that weighs 2/3, but is 3 times as strong as previous steel. And these things going to make a big difference. But even General Motors and Ford and Chrysler all said that by 2020, 2021, the entire cars are going to be made out of this. They've already been using some parts as tests over the last few years. But again, better steel, which depending on who you talk to, is about 1/4 of the cost of aluminum, becomes a big deal. Of course, aluminum is still a little lighter weight, but the question is, dollar for dollar, does it make more sense to use steel than aluminum? And, you know, you had Ford building all those Ford trucks. Certainly when you get to that level, making an entire bed out of aluminum saves about 700 pounds. You're not going to be able to do that even with the steel without making it basically as thin as a Coke can. So pretty good. But my guess is this thing's come down. It's come down on volume. That $46 to $48 range, maybe 49, looks like it's probably going to be support. And with all the building going on here in the United States, probably a good buy if you can get it on sale. So chalk that up and take a look back there and see if there's anything else going on. Okay, what else do we have going on out here? Well, gold pulling back a little. You've got the dollar off 31 cents, and still looking at that. Did I change something? I certainly did. I don't know why I did that, but it is gone. I don't have my gold page up at all. Let's see what we have out here. Okay, and I don't have that up. See if I can pull this up real quick. See how good I am. Market. Okay, gold's off 11 bucks, and silver kind of broke 17 today. Still looking at kind of a pullback in a lot of these, but my guess is that all this money comes flooding back in before the close tomorrow night. So maybe just a little bit of a push. What else do we have? Nothing exciting in that yet. Okay. Let's look at some other stocks of interest. Wanted to look at some of the 52-week highs. We did that last week because we were looking for any sign that some of these things had topped off. Of course, another 52-week high in Apple today. It's talk of huge expansion, spending $35 billion in the United States. They are all over the land property in anywhere from Dallas, Fort Worth, down to Austin. They're going right back into that corridor of hardware technology from the Texas Instruments days and snapping up everything they can. So it looks like they're going to get a lot more in that. Little pop back out here higher. And again, kind of interesting to see how it reacted to extremely negative press from people that normally are extremely easy on Apple, and they can do no evil. The only thing I can account why the press has turned so sour on them is coming from today, the response from what Apple said yesterday. And it just seems to me that a lot of people hate, maybe that's the right word, kind of feel that by working with the new tax law, they're somehow kind of traitors to the cause of everything that's from Berkeley, where they all kind of hang around and have similar ideas. But some of the most hateful and vitriolic stuff that I've read in the press and from other folks over the last couple of days, which is good for America. I don't know. Maybe maybe their ideas have blinded them to the greater good out there. What else do we have? Best Buy, also another high. Any big signal of a rotation out here other than light volume, which we do have 1.5 million shares. My guess is this is such a cyclical business that this is probably going to be eventually a very good short. I just don't see any signal that this thing's ready to pull back now. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, you can always post a message in the den. 2805 on the S&P cash, kind of eking up. And I keep seeing more and more dire predictions for the budget deal and the market going higher. So I'm thinking that no one believes those. CRM, which is Salesforce, another 52-week high. Energy has not been all that exciting since the December 5th low. Maybe we can put that into the Christmas time. Really doesn't have a lot of volume out here. We are now breaking through the November 21st high at 109.19 that had 10 million shares. You got about 2 million shares now. So I can tell a lot of people that want to be kind of bearish out here that it's not without cause. I just think that maybe you're early. As I've said before, normally when I'm short, if I'm going to be early, it's going to be 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks. And my guess is that Tuesday's huge desire to go short probably means 3 weeks. I just don't have any signs out here. So I'll wait and hold my breath for a while before I look back out. Federal Express also making a 52-week high today. Again, volume's fairly light in the market today, 900,000 shares. That's not to say that markets have had light volume over the last few weeks. In fact, just the opposite. A lot of juice coming in, and maybe people are setting that up as a high. Maybe we pull back a little bit, go back and retest higher these highs that we're making over this period on lighter volume. But again, at least going to take a few days to do that. And I would much more likely see or want to see a light volume retest on these highs 3 weeks or even a couple of months from now to set up a better setup for finding a high that would last for a while. But again, February 10th, we start seeing a lot of people getting more money in their paychecks each month. A lot of this cash repatriation has already started from some of the tech companies and their discussions today. They're already starting to bring some of the cash back home to America. And of course, that's going to be awful tough. Where does that cash go? Share buybacks, starting new, building new business, new manufacturing, all that stuff just kind of feeds on itself. This may be one of the big years for the economy. Stock market may do something different, but one of the big years for the economy. We'll be back in a minute.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Okay, just answering some emails during the break. Hopefully anybody that gives a, I don't think any of these things right here are the ones going to answer on the show today. Another 52-week high with coals. You got to, if someone would have told me coals was going to be $65, I would have called them a liar. There was literally nothing I could see out here that said that these guys were going to go back and fill their gap of a fairly, we haven't even, how far does this gap go back? Several years. Business is really not any better, but just the thought of them getting together with somebody else like Amazon or Sears, or not Sears, or Walmart, which I guess is the rumors I've heard, that they're going to get bought out by Walmart. Don't know if that's ever true. It's not uncommon to see these kind of things, especially in bull markets, and that is rampant, what would I call it, speculation of improving conditions. I've been by their stores. Don't see any more traffic than I saw a year ago. Now, maybe that's anecdotal down here in Florida. More important, this is a stock everybody was short. It's got 8 days to cover even now. That means that on average volume, it would take 8 days just to buy to cover all the shorts out there, back up to the $65 level, $65.23 today. But, you know, maybe there's something more that I'm missing. You can always call in and tell me why I'm all wet on this one. But maybe you've been in crowded coal stores. I just have not. Things are a little bit better, and then maybe that's all that matters. Maybe it's just like beating your head against the wall. It feels so good when it stops. And you look at it. Lennar, another one out here. Light volume on Lennar. Of course, these had earnings. Didn't really move that much on earnings. KBH did too. Take a look at KBH. See if there's anything out here. Not a lot of volume. KBH spiked on earnings. has kind of come back and filled that. Lennar seems to be the stronger of the two since earnings. You filled the gap. You've done it on light volume. So if you were looking for the next move up in home sales, it's kind of rich for my blood, but the chart does show that that would look kind of interesting. We've got MasterCard also coming up with new earnings. Volume's a little light. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. Volume coming in at the end of the day, a great deal over the last week. So lighter volumes here during my show probably don't mean as much, but probably not going to be monstrous. We'll put it that way. This has started its next little ABC move up, and no sign out here today that this has got anything other than another day higher. No sign of any kind of pullback. 3M, another 52-week high. This one just keeps moving higher. Did make it 52-week higher, a little dark cloud cover on this one, but the pullback is on light volume, 1.2 million shares compared to 2.5 million shares yesterday. So maybe there's something in this. 244.23 would start support. That's the December 5th high. Let's see anything else. Oh, I did want to talk about something, which is the only other, one of the only other signals I've seen. Do we have time? Certainly have time out here. And wanted to see how it was doing today, but it was very interesting to me that I saw, where is it at here? LXP, which is the ETF for the consumer staples. Normally you see this thing at highs and breaking out highs when the market's going to roll over. It makes me think that a lot of people are betting on that. You needed 22 million shares or 23 million shares to get past the December 18th. That's the last time everybody was getting really bearish, thinking that they were going to go out here and short the Dickens out of the market on the 1st or 2nd of January. That didn't do much. As soon as the market started going higher, these guys had problems. The low was January the 9th. It popped up, of course, on the Tuesday move. Everybody's, again, betting that the end of the world comes, and it looks like it's going to be the proverbial watch pot that never boils. You do have a little doji out here today. A close back below 57.31 would be fairly bearish in this sector. And again, you didn't really have the kind of juice yesterday. You got a doji today. But I'm going to be watching that in the next couple of days. Now, this could kind of just hang out here and maybe for 2 or 3 weeks, play around these highs. And then if we do get a decent pullback in the market, which I continue to think 2 or 3 weeks down the line, maybe at the moment, maybe something changes to do that. Maybe we get a scare if they really don't get any kind of deal done Friday night. But my guess is they make the deal. At least that's the way I'm speculating right now. And I would say that gold heading a little lower today also kind of says the same thing. Other ETFs at highs that we're watching today are the SMHs. It's starting to break through the last high of November 24th, 105.83. And again, this is on the backdrop that the end of the world is coming to AMD and Intel and Qualcomm and NVIDIA. Anybody that makes a chip, the world was over. You got 2.8 million shares now into the November 24th high that had almost 8 million shares. So again, light volume. Volume wasn't that bad yesterday. It was 6 million shares, but could have been stronger. So am I thinking that maybe you get a little bit of a pullback in this tomorrow? I think the answer could be yes. You don't have a lot of strength in this last run down here. So I'm suspecting that we are probably going to go higher in a lot of the indexes. But my guess is that these ones that did so well over the last 9 months to 16 months or so, like the semiconductors, have had a monstrous run, and these things are extremely tired. I'm looking for new sectors to take over what the semiconductors have done. Doesn't mean that these things are going into the toilet, as Archie Bunker would say, but certainly means that I think that these things are going to underperform a lot of other sectors in the near future. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Okay. And I do have a Bitcoin related question here. I've been thinking about answering it. I think I'll answer it in the last little segment out here. But again, if you've ever filled out any kind of paperwork starting a new business and or trying to explain why a product's going to do good, we'll talk about how people make money with Bitcoin and or blockchain, and what's going to happen. We'll be back in a minute.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge Heard Daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Schlumberger in the morning. This thing's kind of gone a little sideways. Again, IBM after the bell tonight. If there's going to be a surprise to the downside, probably going to be in IBM. Lots of shorts, but some of those people probably had to cover going into this earnings cycle tonight. But certainly in tech, IBM's been kind of the weak sister. I had some questions. I'm going to try to answer them all in the last 2 minutes of the show here on why I haven't been too excited about Bitcoin and blockchain yet. And that is that very early on in the tech revolution, we found a lot of companies come and go. They all were around one idea, which is we're going to build computers. It never really had jailed. Generally, the big market came in companies like Microsoft and Oracle. These companies came public. They had a business plan, and it took a while. It depends on whether you're just trading or you're actually looking for something that you can go to sleep at night and still own, which is kind of, I think, a good night's sleep, vastly underrated for the stock trader. But the business idea, the business plan for blockchain, I still don't get. Anybody can do it. There are hundreds of, it seems like there's hundreds anyway, of different companies involved in it. It sounds very much like a very interesting technology, like the cloud. There were a lot of cloud companies, and guess who ended up winning on it? Microsoft, Oracle, Salesforce, kind of maybe the one company that got in there that wasn't part of the big crew, Amazon. A lot of companies out there. You can have a great idea. The question is whether you can be long-term successful in it. And I still don't see any kind of business plan out there that is any better than anybody else's. And that makes good for trading, but doesn't make good for investing or holding overnight, and literally anything can happen. I suspect that we'll see the same thing as Amazon. It went from 120 bucks to 10 bucks, and it was a great deal. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.